Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament here at the County Sports Complex. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this morning for our first game of the week. It's your Class 1A 1 versus 8 matchup. The number 1 Assumption Knights at 16-1 taking on the 8th-seeded Dike-New Hartford Wolverines at 15-4. Hunter, Assumption's been here quite a while. 17 straight championship or 17 straight tournament appearances, 6 straight championship appearances at 1.15 straight. This Dike-New Hartford team, on the other hand, is only in their 4th year ever as a program, and they're already here twice.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot of different variables in this matchup here. I mean, obviously with Assumption, they've just become a staple. I mean, you expect them to be here and you expect them to be a contender. They have so much experience. We're going to dive into that throughout the broadcast. But Dike-New Hartford, they're coming in with a lot of confidence. They defeated a very good Gilbert team to make it here to the state tournament. And again, a very young team, in terms of overall experience as a program. But I'll tell you what, they've only given up 1 goal in their last 5 matches. So this is going to be a tough opening test here for Assumption.
Assumption, like I said, have been to 6 straight title games, but the last 2 years they've been shut out. They have not made it to the last 2 title games. Bishop Elon comes away with the victory last year over Gilbert in a huge game for the Crusaders, and now we get to see Assumption here today versus Dike-New Hartford. Again, second time here in 4 years as a program. It is a beautiful week of weather. We are just about to miss a storm system that's going to move just to the north of us. It's going to bring us cloud cover, but at about 66 degrees. Winds could be an issue today. A couple things on the field Hunter and I will talk about painting-wise and whatnot, but overall it is a beautiful week for soccer. I don't think you could ask for better weather.
Oh, I think you couldn't either. I mean, especially with what we've had this so far here in the month of May, where we've had just so much rain, so many storms. Temperature-wise, most comfortable week we've had for state soccer. Can't wait to get started.
We are going to step aside for the national anthem and get you back for your starting lineups. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
In Iowa, we grow corn. A lot of corn. Corn is what supports us. It feeds our livestock, it fuels our vehicles, and powers our state. It nourishes our families. A cash crop? Yeah, but it's way more than that. Corn sustains us. It's who we are. Without it, we'd just be... well, you get the picture. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state soccer tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. And to help celebrate this achievement, the Iowa Farm Bureau provides commemorative soccer balls for each team competing in the state tournament. These keepsakes are a great way for these athletes to remember their experience here, as well as the teammates, coaches, parents, teachers, and mentors who've all played an important role in their journey. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
The assistant coach for the Knights is Michael Harrington. Now let's meet the starters for both teams in alternating fashion. For the Wolverines, number 2. Correction, number 1, Miranda Tyler. For the Knights, number 1, Maddie Nidji. For the Wolverines, number 2, Sylvie Fuller. For the Knights, number 5, Bella Hero. For the Wolverines, number 4, Lucy Varney. Knights, number 8, Drew Dorsey. For the Wolverines, number 5, Sophia Bennett. For the Knights, number 9, Caitlin O'Brien. For the Wolverines, number 7, Gentry Swartz. For the Knights, number 10, Heather Jondal. For the Wolverines, number 8, Peyton Foster. For the Knights, number 11, Macy Ripslinger. For the Wolverines, number 9, Drew Peterson. For the Knights, number 12, Cameron Menke. For the Wolverines, number 10, Joy Alderts. For the Knights, number 17, Gabby Stoffergen. For the Wolverines, number 12, Valerie Peterson. For the Knights, number 20, Maddie Martinez. For the Wolverines, number 13, Hannah Steffen. For the Knights, number 22, Amelie Yates. For the Wolverines, number 22, Anna Bering. For the Knights, number 24, Maddie Toll. Head coach for the Wolverines, Emma Eden. And for the Knights, Elizabeth Moss. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials for today's game: Joe Sample, Deanne Zimmerman, Anna Terry, and Jared T. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please join us. Direct your attention to the flag.
In Iowa, we grow corn. A lot of corn. Corn is what supports us. It feeds our livestock, it fuels our vehicles, and powers our state. It nourishes our families. A cash crop? Yeah, but it's way more than that. Corn sustains us. It's who we are. Without it, we'd just be... well, you get the picture. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state soccer tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. And to help celebrate this achievement, the Iowa Farm Bureau provides commemorative soccer balls for each team competing in the state tournament. These keepsakes are a great way for these athletes to remember their experience here, as well as the teammates, coaches, parents, teachers, and mentors who've all played an important role in their journey. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Welcome back to Iowa Girls State High School Soccer here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this morning for some 1A soccer. And Hunter, like we both talked about, two very historic programs across the state, but in terms of soccer, Assumption, long tenured, but Dike-New Hartford, very new.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about Dike-New Hartford, it's just strange to believe that this is only their fourth year as a program, and obviously there's a lot of tremendous multi-sport athletes for both of these sides, but this is a Wolverines program that has quickly built confidence, and no doubt we've seen that here over the last few weeks, especially when you defeat number 2 Gilbert there in extra time. But they have a tall task ahead of them. I mean, Davenport Assumption, 17th consecutive trip here to state, but you know, what's dangerous, Blake, this team, yeah, they've made it to all these championship matches. They've won 11 as a program, but the last few years, things have not gone their way. They fell to Bishop Elon last year, so this is a motivated group, and that's going to be dangerous for the rest of this 1A field, but it's a little gusty, but I tell you what, it's great to have state soccer back here in Iowa's capital city, and the fans are really showing out here this morning, and we want to thank everyone else for tuning in here on our live stream, and hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely. You're watching the 2024 Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Iowa Farm Bureau believes in the Iowa girl and cultivating individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. By investing in Iowa's youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. We'll try not to blow away here at the top of our stands here in the bleachers, and we're going to get going here in this Class 1A quarterfinal between Davenport Assumption and Dike-New Hartford. Assumption in black and red kits, kind of a red sleeve on the side. Dike-New Hartford in the white and blue pants. To start today's action, as that one will roll off the touchline, it will be Dike-New Hartford ball coming back the other way.
Well, and Blake, we talked about it at the top of our broadcast, and maybe our fans can see it on their screen, but there's 2 different touch lines. There's a faint touch line, and then there's a new one that was painted, I'm guessing, overnight or just this past weekend. And so it's important for each of these sides to know what the boundaries are, and even the center circle as well has also been altered a little bit. So we got our first shot here on the day for Davenport Assumption. They're going to be an aggressive team. There's no doubt about it. They've got a lot of attacking forwards. Drew Dorsey, we're going to call her name quite often today, and Dike-New Hartford really has the players to be able to match up with that. But, you know, the wind is going to be a factor. You know, looking at the weather, say gusts are up to 16 miles an hour. We could certainly feel
we've almost lost our top here a couple times up here in the bleachers. You and I are both holding it down as we go. Here's a breakaway shot for Assumption. This will be cleared out last second by Mallory Peterson. Assumption's got it back, though, here on this near side. Shot on goal by number 5. That's going to miss to the left. That's Ella Curo. And, Hunter, you talked about it. The wind's blowing to the south, so it's blowing out of the north at I don't quite have a wind gust on me, but I think when you checked, about 15 to 16 miles an hour, so that'll be something to keep an eye out on.
And they do have the lights on here on Field 9 at County Soccer Complex. But these long kicks right here, I tell you what, they can really play a pivotal role in potentially getting some set pieces. I mean, you look at Assumption right here, that ball just stands right where it is once it gets up in midair. And so if you're Dike-New Hartford, especially here in this opening half, take advantage of having that wind to your back, because you can really alter positioning and really try to put this Assumption team in a bind.
These 2 teams played last season in 2023. Assumption came away with the victory. 1-0 was your score. Dike-New Hartford in Assumption territory here. Working to the middle, now back up to the top. Sylvie Fuller and company up there, and here comes Assumption on the run out. And there goes Drew Dorsey. Dorsey up ahead, shot on goal, got around the goalie, but the goalie caught it on her hand. That's going to roll out, though. That should be a corner kick, and yes, it is. Miranda Tyler is the goalkeeper for Dike-New Hartford, and boy, she saved a almost goal.
Well, she did, especially when you have a prolific goal scorer like Drew Dorsey that's coming right there, just standing her ground. He got that left hand out to be able to deflect it. And so this is the thing for Dike-New Hartford. Assumption is a team that loves to generate corner kicks and be able to establish their offense here. And we'll see an outswinger, no doubt about it, with this win. And
yeah, again, the wind's blowing out. They're not even going to try to take a shot here. Assumption goes right back to number 22. That's Amelie Yates, and that rolls out to another corner kick. Corner Kicks All-State Tournament brought to you by Channel. The Enhanced Channel Seat brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com /rise. So another shortened corner kick here. Gabby Stoffrigan had it for a second. They'll go in the middle. They'll try to get it to Dorsey. Dangerous territory here for the Wolverines. Almost cleared out by Lucy Varney. Assumption's got it here on the near side, trying to set back up to the middle. Shot on goal, not going to go. Miranda Tyler sits there in the waiting and grabs the ball just before it goes in the goal. And again, the way the wind's blowing, it's going to be tough to judge even for the goalkeepers.
Well, it really is, but Assumption has really come out aggressive here to start this one. Multiple players on the ball, and we saw the 2 corner kicks there for the Beats, and she's been fantastic this year. Not only as a 12 assists, and so did feel a few sprinkles, Blake. We got I think some scattered rain showers that are coming in, but nothing that's going to disrupt our match. Eddie, no lightning in the area, but
I know people can hear the wind on our microphones, I can tell you that, because we are hanging on for dear life up here. That one's kicked up ahead, and Assumption's Maddie Nidji will jump on top of it, and Assumption will come back the other way.
Well, you talk about an excellent goalkeeper, and that is Nidji. She's going to play at Tulsa, 91.5% save percentage this year. Has only allowed 6 goals. And it always helps when you have a back line that communicates well with one another, and just, again, going back to the overall experience that they have, on and off the pitch and the training ground. But no doubt she has played a pivotal role throughout her time at Assumption and this team being contenders year in and year out.
That ball's going to hang in the air. Drew Dorsey with it here. 29 goals this season for the junior. She's only a junior, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, we talked about that off air. There's a lot of familiar names just year in and year out that it is just incredible to see. And then you'll see some of the same names maybe for state softball or state volleyball. These 2 schools and these 2 programs have done such a great job of again letting these girls get into multiple sports and excel at a high level.
Shot on goal is going to miss just to the left. That's number 5, Ella Curo. Couldn't quite get a good enough piece on that one. Granted, it was going into the wind. And, Hunter, what do you think? You think it favors Dike-New Hartford here to be going in or against the wind, or do you think Assumption's got it or Assumption going against the wind, or you think Dike-New Hartford's got it pretty good here?
Well, I think for Dike-New Hartford, no doubt, it's going to take a little bit of a time for them to adjust, because normal deliveries that you would push downfield, you're not going to be able to do that here. And so, but just when you think you have it adjusted, then you're going to have to switch sides in the second half. So I think right now it does favor Assumption, as we are going to get a foul here on the Knights, and I'll give it back to the Wolverines.
Strong crowd here today for Dike-New Hartford, obviously coming down from around the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area, and then Davenport Assumption over there on the Mississippi River, over by the Illinois border. So not easy drives for both these schools today. As the wind continues to howl here at County Sports Complex, Assumption's team tent just went flying off its base, so we're not the only ones dealing with tent issues. As I look across the entire field, there are tent issues everywhere, so we're not the only ones.
And that's really one of the neat things about this game, and especially the time of year in which they play. Both of these teams and teams from across the state have to play in a variety of conditions, and so just another added element, so, kind of battling the adverse conditions and trying to figure out a way to be able to maybe use that to your advantage when it's not that quote-unquote even playing field, if you will.
31:40 to go here in the first half. Assumption and Dike-New Hartford in your Class 1A quarterfinal here for girls state soccer. No score between these two so far, and it is a windy day to start. It was very calm when we got here this morning, and then a storm system just missed us to the north. Luckily, didn't really get a ton of rain, but we're definitely experiencing the wind part of that storm. And That's really all we're dealing with so far. Dike-New Hartford gets the ball back off of the touchline.
Nice control here along the touchline by Assumption, and then going back to Dike-New Hartford. But the ball movement, passing has to be crisp today by the Wolverines. This is a group that, again, playing with a lot of confidence. We touched on their excellent win over Gilbert, but they have won 10 matches in a row after falling in 2 straight at Nevada. Of course, Nevada, an excellent program. Going to get a save here by the Wolverines. And then at Denver, I mean, this team has really been playing well under their 4th-year head coach, Emma Eden, who led this team since they started. And here they go on the counter.
Yeah, chance for Dike-New Hartford, picked up by Assumption, Maddie Nidji. And it seems crazy, Dike-New Hartford, 4 years now as a soccer program, just feels like one of those schools that, hey, they might have had one for a while, but the immediate success just tells you all you need to know about Dike-New Hartford athletics in general.
Oh, and we're used to seeing them, of course, for state basketball and a presence at volleyball as well, and certainly the same for Assumption. But, for Davenport Assumption, I mean, their only loss was to Pleasant Valley, and they're a state qualifier, of course, an excellent team. But this is, going back to playing quality teams, for Dike-New Hartford being out of the North Iowa Cedar League. I mean, you look before they started regional play, they defeated a very good Center Point Urbana team 2-0. So they also play some really quality competition. So that's what makes this 1 versus 8 matchup even that much more intriguing, because some would think, on paper that it may be a little bit lopsided, but not so much. And so I really like how Dike-New Hartford has really settled in here, but Assumption is a team that just is so relentless once they get outside of that 18-yard box zone. We saw them really control the ball well. Good start for both of these sides.
Both teams going at it. Here's Dike-New Hartford with it here near the touch line. That's going to be knocked out here, and it will be Dike-New Hartford ball coming back the other way. Wolverines get it ahead. Gentry Swartz on a breakaway, knocked out by Macy Ripslinger, all the way over to the corner, and it's picked up by Maddie Nidji just in time. But how about the effort by Gentry Swartz going after the ball? A little bit of a lazy throwaway, and Assumption's able to knock it back out, but it'll still be Dike-New Hartford ball.
Swartz, a great junior class here for Dike-New Hartford, of course. Lucy Varney is their top goal scorer, leader in points, but really have liked the speed that we have seen from Swartz on 2 counters, and she is someone that can get things going. She has 11 goals as well there in that starting 11, but here come the Knights.
Assumption on a breakaway. That's number 12, Cameron Menke. Menke goes up ahead to Dorsey. That's who they want it to go to. Dorsey in the middle, trying to be taken away by Hannah Steffen, and good job by Steffen to clear it out. Shot on goal, high and long, but good effort to go into the wind by Davenport Assumption. Aggressive play by Dike-New Hartford here early.
And I think that's going to be one of the keys for them, is just to be able to set the tone on their side. Do not let Davenport Assumption just really control the possession and control the tempo. I mean, they have really been able to stretch things out, and we've seen some quality touches as well from Assumption trying to link ahead for Drew Dorsey, but the Wolverines have done a good job within the box to be able to stop the top goal scorer for the Knights, and during that brief little break, first set of substitutions for both teams.
Cameron Menke with it over there on the far touchline, hands it off over to Anna Weeman. Dorsey cuts and turns. Mallory Peterson is waiting right there. Back and forth we go here, 26:40 to go here in the first half of action on a gusty morning session here at the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament, Class 1A quarterfinals here. Semifinals will take place on Thursday as the Iowa High School Athletic Association's Boys State Soccer Tournament will happen here at County Sports Complex tomorrow. Got a whistle. Nope, whistle on the other field. The way the wind's blowing, it catches on the other side. Assumption up ahead. This will roll out, and it'll be thrown out by Caitlin O'Brien. O'Brien gets it into Maddie Martinez, and instead O'Brien sends it right back up the pitch. That one will roll all the way over to the corner. Not enough for a corner kick. Last touch by Dike-New Hartford, and it will be a goal kick for Assumption.
Well, I like the idea there from Stefan there at the center line, and thought maybe if a few of her teammates could catch up to that. We heard the Dike-New Hartford fans saying, go after it, but it was well wrapped up by Assumption there deep towards the end line. But a good takeaway here from the Wolverines.
Assumption clears out. Nice job by Macy Ripslinger. Assumption defeated Beckman Catholic to get here to the state tournament. A 2-0 win versus the Trailblazers. And like I had talked about, these two teams have played twice in the 4 years of Dike-New Hartford soccer. Assumption won 3-0 in 2022 and 1-0 in 2023. Did not play this year now up until this point.
A few more new players entering the pitch. Alexi Hemanover for Dike-New Hartford coming in. And then Maddie Tolley, the junior.
Long kick up ahead. Mallory Peterson. Chased down by Gabby Stoffrigan. Ella Curo will send it to the middle, and the wind just catches that thing and it dies. Now Dike-New Hartford has to respond. Again, like you talked about, Hunter, the touch lines, it seems like the field's been moved over by about, I'd say about 6 feet, 5 feet from an original line, and the white chalk from the original field is still not completely gone. So, yeah, like you said, that touch line will be interesting, at least for the first couple days here at the state tournament.
Well, and so far these two sides have done a great job of recognizing the difference between the two. But, yeah, certainly the touch line moving closer to us on your screen than where it was originally. Just some last-second changes by Des Moines Parks and Rec just to make sure that the pitch was all set to go. It's going to be a busy week here at County. A lot of footsteps, a lot of running, a lot of divots. Going to be placed in the all-grass pitch here this week, but they do such a great job of making sure that it's all ready to go. And we've had plenty of rain for the grass to be able to grow. So
yes, we have. Got a handball there, so it'll go back to Assumption. And that ball's already going to roll out of the touch line. It goes back to Dike-New Hartford. We're moving along here. 23 minutes to go here in the first half. Assumption and Dike-New Hartford tied at 0 so far in this one.
Well, and we saw in that last sequence, Blake, that for Assumption, it's going to be tough for them to be able to press the ball forward. Meanwhile, the Wolverines foot on the gas.
Lucy Varney shot on goal. Boy, it had a chance, but it's picked up by Maddie Nidji. I have no idea how she turned that thing in time, but great play by Nidji to get in front of it.
Excellent skill, though, there off the foot of Varney. 13 goals for her on the year, and you can see why she puts herself in such great positions. But on the other side, Maddie Nidji, she is one of the best goalkeepers that the state has to offer. So one of those individual 1v1 matchups, that's what makes this one even much more interesting when you have a prolific goal scorer like Varney and then someone who can just put the brakes on any good team in Nidji. They're between the pipes on the other side for the Knights.
Long kick back downfield. In hockey, it'd be icing, but here it's just called good play, trying to get in front of your opponent. That was Gentry Swartz up there.
And I think with the wind, especially pushing to the back, you don't have to worry about being offside because that ball is just going to continue to take off from behind, and we're continuing to see Dike-New Hartford utilize its reserves here, trying to get as many fresh legs in as possible here as we're around the midway point of this opening half.
Sylvie Fuller was the one who checked out for Dike-New Hartford. Drew Peterson is the one in for her. And I tell you what, through, like you said, a half, no real heavy favorite right now. Assumption's had a couple, probably a few more better opportunities than Dike-New Hartford has, but they've kept Drew Dorsey, who has the ball here, pretty quiet for the most part. She takes quite the hit going up against Anastasia Bering, and Dorsey took quite the hit on the ground. They call a foul or just stop and check if she's okay? Looks like they called a foul.
Looks like they did.
It was quite the hit.
And that just Dike-New Hartford letting Dorsey know, hey, we're not going to let you possess the ball for that long. And they want her in that middle part of the field. Oh, good play up ahead.
Maddie Toll has about 3 Wolverines around her. Maybe if she had 2, it would have been better. She gets it right back here, and she's offsides. I think they baited her a little bit, kind of got her where they wanted her, and Assumption will give it right back to Dike-New Hartford.
Just really good recovery we've seen from the Wolverines within that 18-yard box, Blake. And I think, the first 5 minutes, Assumption was really the team that had the control. But, again, after a few shots on goal, Dike-New Hartford was able to really settle in, and then they've been able to, I think, really adjust to the conditions right now. And it's really been the Knights who have been on the defense here really over the last 10, 15 minutes or so. But, yeah, it's been up and down first half, which is what all soccer fans love to see.
Maddie Nidji again, sliding attempt to get there just before Gentry Swartz did.
Boy, and that gives your back line so much confidence when you know that there's no hesitation from Nidji at all. She knows exactly how to play the ball and to make sure that the other team does not wreak havoc.
That one's knocked ahead. Toll's going to have a chance. Maddie Toll on the near side, one-on-one. Works her way to the middle. Sitting and waiting is Ella Curo, but it's knocked back the other way. And like I said, I'm sure Dike-New Hartford obviously trying to clear it, get it downfield, but the wind really makes it clear. I mean, they can really get out ahead of it. Got a whistle.
We're going to have 2 new players here for the Wolverines come in.
The way the wind blows, if we hear a whistle on the other field, it makes it seem like we're in a different spot. But not many substitutions here for Assumption so far. All substitutions in today's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Sylvie Fuller, after a little breather, is back in. She's on the ball right now for the Wolverines.
See if the Wolverines can get a possession set up here. They really haven't had one of these yet today, just a lot of breakaways. In the middle, Gentry Swartz caught up. Good defensive job by the back line here by Assumption. And the Knights should be able to get out in front, and they do. Good defensive possession.
And it all started with Heather Jondal there in the back line being able to just immediately send that one forward, and brought up a good point, Blake, and that a lot of Dike-New Hartford's possessions have been kind of in a transition type of offense. They really have not been able to really settle in their half, unlike Assumption, who's looking to be able to try to establish something here.
Maddie Toll with it. Going to go over to the near side to Gabby Stoffergen. Stoffergen tries to center. Boy, she got an accidental hit to the goalkeeper, Miranda Tyler. I tell you what, I think the wind is really hurting Assumption because I don't think they can set anything up in the middle that they want to purposely set up, if that makes sense.
No, you cannot get any kind of loft, no matter how great a touch you get on the ball. The wind is just going to immediately push it back. And so certainly as this first half has progressed, I think Dike-New Hartford certainly has been the beneficiary of it, but get nothing to show for it yet on the scoreboard. But Assumption just trying their best to be able to, I think, really try to get something closer to that 18-yard range where they don't have to loft it up as much, and it's going to be easier for them to handle here on some of these dribble passes. But the Wolverines well on top of it.
Caitlin O'Brien tried to get over to Maddie Toll. Toll seems to be the secondary option because Drew Dorsey is covered up by the Wolverines really well. They'll run it off to the far line. Cameron Menke up ahead. They'll try to turn it back to the middle. That's where Dorsey sits. But Sophia Bennett waiting in the wings. Dorsey turns on it, and Tyler jumps on top of it. Well, they had somebody cutting just in case, but good defense by the Wolverines staying on top of it, and Dike-New Hartford will take it back the other way.
I just want to give a score update for our fans. Field behind us, Field 8, that features Nevada and Hudson, and Hudson has the early 1-0 lead there in that matchup. A lot of really intriguing matchups when you look at the 1A field. Of course, Bishop Heelan, the defending champions, they're back, and they're going to be playing here in about 15 minutes. They open against Trainer. Denver and St. Albert also in this 1A field. But you talk about Assumption always being in this field. Nevada is also a program that
Seriously,
you expect them to be here at state.
Hudson, just a big soccer school in general. Has been really good at boys soccer the last couple of years. A couple more IMT insurance substitutions. Ellie Boecker is in for Assumption, along with
Maddie Martinez.
Yeah, Maddie Martinez, and then that's Lucy Varney checks back in for Dike-New Hartford. So
we've seen how each coach really is trying to approach this first half, and that Assumption has really relied on its starting 11 for the majority of this opening segment, while the Wolverines have relied on its depth. Nobody there on a crosser attempt and scooped up by Niji.
had a better chance because of the wind, and Niji again stays on top.
And these two sides, they got here to County about an hour before we got to kickoff, and on the training ground just to the right of your screen there. So they had some time to be able to, I guess, get a feel of what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like the wind has just continued to pick up. I mean, when we got here, it was calm
very
wind,
nice.
but
I would have
certainly
taken
picked
that.
up.
I would have taken it all day. And now you've been holding on to our tent half the time, and our producer Aaron's over here grabbing on it whenever it has a chance to fly away. It has calmed down a little bit since that storm moved through, but we're definitely getting some gusts once in a while. That one goes all the way to the far touchline, a throw-in opportunity for Gentry Swartz. They're going to be quick about it. Over in the middle, and it's cleared out last second. I believe that was Macy Ripslinger in the middle. Boy, that was a heck of a save, because that was not headed in the right direction if you're an Assumption fan.
Boy, that almost got the crease there for Dike-New Hartford, and you said it perfectly, Blake. I mean, Macy Ripslinger, the senior, right there to be able to knock it out of harm's way. And now the Knights here on the Wolverines side, as we're under 13 minutes to go, first half flying by.
Dorsey handed it off, but the ball goes high and wide. That was number 22, Amelie Yates. We've seen that a couple times here, Hunter, that I think you overestimate the wind, because a lot of these girls, a couple of these shot attempts are going high and long.
Yeah, you're just trying to guess it. It's almost like you're out on a golf course when it's windy, and you're waiting to tee off when the wind starts to finally die down. And so, but in soccer, you don't have that luxury, because there are players that are right on you that want to dispossess the ball, unlike in golf where you can take your time a little bit more. So, again, it's just one of the mind games, if you will, where they're just trying to find that opportune time to be able to waft that ball in the air.
Maddie Martinez. That thing hung in the air, drops right in Miranda Tyler's lap. And once again, Dike-New Hartford holds on defense. 12 minutes to go here in the first half. No score. And for an Assumption team that in the last couple games, they put up 2 against Center Point Urbana, 3 against Independent, 6 against West Branch, 8 against Central Lee, and then 2 against Beckman Catholic. And like you said, they've only given up 2 goals in 5 games. And they haven't given up a goal since that loss to Pleasant Valley.
Just incredible when you really think about it. I mean, that is so tough to do, and it just speaks to how well coached this Knights program is. Just a misplay here along that back line, miscommunication, and now we'll see if the Knights can try to keep the pressure on the Wolverines here.
Mallory Peterson got real lucky, and this will be looks like a Channel Seeds, or a Channel corner kick here. Channel Seeds corner kick. All our corner kicks here at the state tournament brought to you by our friends at Channel Seeds. Amelie Yates will be the one to kick this one from the corner here. Will they decide to go for the goal, or will they go short? Waiting there is Gabby Stoffrigan.
Well, we've seen them play it short. Maybe a different approach.
Yep, they're going to go all the way. Dorsey misses the header, and then it's missed on the back end by Anna Weeman. But boy, it was set up perfectly. Dorsey just got a little far out in front of it.
I'd say that's probably as good of a ball as you can place if you're Amelie Yates. And to no surprise, she has 12 assists this year. She leads the team in that category, and she is someone that they really trust in that role. And it always it helps when you have a player like Drew Dorsey that can be able to flick it on or be able to get it on the half volley, and almost a rebound attempt there for Assumption. But breathing with a sigh of relief are the Wolverines, who have kind of taken a step back or two here over the last few minutes, as now we're under 10 to go here in this first half. But just some exciting action we have seen here from these two programs.
And you see the 8 seed beside Dike-New Hartford, and you're like, well, they upset the number 1 team or the number 2 team, Gilbert, in double overtime. Thing is, Dike-New Hartford's getting hot, and you always see that around, the March Madness. You see teams get hot through the conference tournaments. That's exactly what Dike-New Hartford's on right now. I mean, they haven't lost since April. I mean, it's been a while.
And they have only conceded 2 goals since that loss to Denver back on April 22nd. So this team is just on as big of a roll as Davenport Assumption. And like we talked about, I mean, they are playing quality competition there out of the North Iowa Cedar League. And so you see that 8 there on the bracket, and don't let it fool you. And that will even be the case for our 2A matchup that'll be coming up later in the afternoon, where the 8 seed defeated the number 2 seed Norwalk in penalty kicks to be able to get at the stage. So, I mean, it's amazing how teams, getting hot at the right time, and really hot over the last month and a half have been the Wolverines, and so have the Knights. Just so consistent.
And how about that North Iowa Cedar League? I think 3 out of the 8 teams here in Class 1A are from the North Iowa Cedar League. I mean, that when you're playing that level of competition night in, night out, I mean, that really will help you out.
Well, case in point, Hudson, the team that's playing behind us, and they were able to, so they lost to them 4-1. They're able to get it out of that 18-yard box early on April 11th, but then we're able to defeat them 2-1 back on May 3rd. So that's just one of the many good teams that are part of that league. And, of course, Davenport Assumption, they play some really stiff competition out in the eastern part of the state as well. We're going to get a foul here on the Knights.
A lot of 3A schools up there. Not a lot of small schools up there, but Assumption fits in as a 1A school, and obviously their only loss coming to Pleasant Valley, who's here at the state tournament in Class 3A. 7:45 to go here in the first half. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here at the County Sports Complex in Des Moines, Iowa, the capital city. Quarterfinal soccer, Class 1A, kicked off at 10 o'clock Central Time, and Dike-New Hartford and Assumption tied at 0. Couple options, couple big opportunities here for both teams, but no one's been able to break through. Wolverines with it here near the line. Shot on goal, misses high to the right. Boy, it was a chance. Was that Bering or was it Reeks? I can't quite tell from here, but one of them had a heck of a chance.
That was Bering, and she had her bearings straight on the goal there, and just over the bar there with that left foot. I mean, just as good of an attempt as you're going to get, and the Wolverines were just able to stay with that play. Bering, a senior, one of the team captains. She has 4 assists, 8 goals on the year, and boy, what a jolt of momentum that would have been if that one would have got underneath the bar past Nidji.
Someone's looking for a big momentum boost here before we get to the halftime break. 6:30 to go here in the first half. Assumption with it here in the middle. kicked by Ella Curo. There's Dorsey in the middle. Boy, she's been quiet a little bit ever since the beginning. I think Dike-New Hartford let her have her way in the first couple minutes, but they've since quieted her down.
Well, they've really put her out of position, too. I mean, more of a striking forward. They've really kind of pushed her more into the midfield position and kind of out of her comfort zone a little bit. But we're seeing some aggressive challenges here by Dike-New Hartford. I mean, they are just letting Davenport Assumption know that we have come to play today. Drew Peterson right there, and now we'll get another new player in for Assumption, it looks like.
Maddie Toll, who has had a couple big opportunities here so far this morning.
She's had multiple touches, and they go to her right away. I mean, she is someone that comes off the bench for Coach Moss and, you know, is expected to be able to help be that distributor, and here she is.
Yep, here's Maddie Toll on the run out. Centers to Dorsey. Shot on goal is high. Once again, I think, you know, compensating for the win, Dorsey got her foot up underneath of it just a little too much and just goes right over top of the goal.
Oh, and she just knew that she was just a few inches away from being able to connect there, and that's really two quality looks for both of these sides.
Look out. Gentry Swartz on the run out. Swartz has a chance. Shot on goal is good. Gentry Swartz gives Dike-New Hartford the lead. 1-0 is your score.
Well, Blake, you knew something was going to have to give because we saw both sides really get some quality chances within the box, but with the wind to their back, number 7, I mean, you talk about someone that has incredible stamina, incredible speed. She was able to just sprint past the Knights' back line and deliver an absolute beautiful goal past Niji there. Big time answer here early on for the Wolverines, and now in uncharted territory. See how the Knights are going to be able to respond here with 4.5 minutes to go. But, boy, you just love the confidence that the Wolverines have come out with trying to make a statement.
What an eruption by the crowd. I mean, like I talked about in the beginning, huge Dike-New Hartford fan base here, and, boy, they have shown out today. And how about Gentry Swartz with the goal to give Dike-New Hartford the 1-0 lead? And, Hunter, if you can hold that here before half, that'd be huge, but Assumption's coming right back. Dorsey in the middle, got it taken away. We hit 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Kind of a weak shot attempt, going to drop in Miranda Tyler's lap.
Good idea by Yeats there, but again, just not quite the position where she wanted to put it. And here's number 7 at it again.
Swartz going ahead again. This time Assumption's a little bit more prepared on defense. On that goal, you couldn't ask for a better drop. I mean, the wind just put that in the perfect spot. Swartz got ahead of it. She's not slow by any means. She's got speed to her.
It's just like a Hail Mary pass that hits a receiver in stride, and that's exactly what happened there. And, you know, there's Lucy Varney. A couple of looks here and there, but it's been Swartz that has really been impressive in how she has been able to really work within the formation that Assumption has laid out defensively. Niji's going to go ahead and scoop that one up.
Feels like one of those days where your star player might not be the one that wins you the game. I mean, we've seen Dorsey and, like you said, Varney just a little quiet here to start. So, I mean, big-time players make big-time plays. That's what they say on the big stage. So, Swartz again. Out ahead, she's going to widen her stance. Shot on goal to the left, and it misses. But, boy, she had a good chance at it.
And it is going to be a corner kick as it went off the mitts of Niji.
Nope, going to say it missed her.
Oh, looked like it may have
Just
glanced that
yeah,
glove.
just missed her, so they catch a break on a goal kick.
Yeah, very fortunate because that would have been, I believe, the first corner for her.
Yeah, I don't believe they've had one. 2:14 to go.
Yeah, Swartz has just been relentless there in that attacking third for Dike-New Hartford. But we've seen the Knights' ability to be able to counter and still have plenty of time to be able to work with, but need to be able to value the possession here as time is slowly winding down.
Good clear out on the back line by Dike-New Hartford. Another good header. And a whistle, I think, just enough for offsides. Either that or a foul. I think it was offsides. And one thing about Dike-New Hartford, I mean, this is an Assumption team that can score at will. You are not going to see them get conservative and play a lot of defense. They're going to try to stay on the attack here. And there's a whistle blown against Varney up against Caitlin O'Brien.
Yeah, just two players going for the ball right there. Dike-New Hartford side not thrilled about the call, but yeah, this is an Assumption team that you cannot let your foot off the gas if you're Dike-New Hartford, just because of how much talent they have, experience. I mean, the only time they have not scored a goal this year, like we mentioned, it was that 2-0 loss to Pleasant Valley. Otherwise, this is a team that knows how to find the back of the net.
It's their first goal given up since that loss to Pleasant Valley back on May 7th. Under a minute to go here at County Sports Complex. Dike-New Hartford, they were laughing about it. They couldn't get away from each other. Assumption's going to try to push here in the final minute. Dorsey up ahead. Shot on goal, misses to the right. She had about 4 Wolverines in front of her, forced her to go around. And Dike-New Hartford seems like they can hold things out here and go into the locker room, quote unquote, up 1-0. High kick ahead. Assumption, back line is there. Peyton Foster in the middle with it, 7 seconds to go. Kicked up ahead one more time. Doesn't look like there'll be enough time. And we are through 40 minutes of play here at County Sports Complex. And the 8th seed, Dike-New Hartford, leads over number 1 Davenport Assumption. 1-0 is your score. And how about that? A fun one so far. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team, and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this morning. The 8 seed, Dike-New Hartford, leads over the 1 seed, Davenport Assumption, 1-0. We're 40 minutes in. We still have 40 minutes to go. But Gentry Swartz, Mr. Phillips, that is who takes the goal and gives Dike-New Hartford the 1-0 lead. Assumption's on upset alert.
Yeah, they really are, and it just Dike-New Hartford playing with so much confidence, and they were able to use the heavy wind to their back, to their advantage. Gentry Swartz was able to collect a long ball and then bury just an absolute blister of a shot past Niji with the left foot to be able to give them the 1-0 lead. And so going to be interesting to see what both sides will be talking here at half, but certainly for Assumption, they definitely are going to have to make some adjustments, no doubt about it, but the Wolverines awfully impressive through 40 minutes of play.
Another exciting 40 minutes is on the docket. We'd like to take a moment now to once again thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state soccer tournament. Farm Bureau knows that the strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why they are the proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state soccer tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. Earlier this week, the IGHSAU had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes across the state.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Soccer Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest. And Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to recognize both, all while supporting and lifting up the Iowa girl.
With the help of the Iowa Farm Bureau, we celebrate students' efforts not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. The Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to your success and supports our organization and the Iowa Girl. Through millions of dollars they provide in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence.
As Iowans, we have a lot to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing here today or a fan tuning in, we all play an important role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations to your school on a terrific season, and good luck in the tournament games.
For you.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament here at the County Sports Complex in the capital city of Des Moines. You can see the principal building and the other building downtown that I don't know the name of, but
Ruan building.
Ruan building. Okay, yep. So you can see the principal building and the Ruan building over there. You can kind of see it on our screen over there in the far distance, but beautiful view here from County Sports Complex. The final year we will be out here at County Sports Complex, as next year the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament will be moving to Iowa State University. But County always so welcoming, great staff, great people. They love and have loved being home of the state tournament for years.
Yeah, and they do such a great job of being able to prepare each pitch. I mean, when you look at the setup out here, it's really incredible, and it's also incredible by our crew to be able to come out and to be able to provide, of course, all of the coverage for those who couldn't make it here. But if you make it here, of course, it's a wonderful facility that's been great to not only girls but also boys state soccer as well over the years, and so. Yeah, kind of a swan song, if you will. But it's been, luckily now the skies are clearing up a little bit and the wind has died down some. And just want to give another score update for everyone on the field behind us. Still a 1-0 lead for Hudson over Nevada. There is no score on the field behind them, and I think that is Bishop Heelan and Trainer, and then, of course, Denver and St. Albert also underway, and we'll try to give score updates while we receive them. But Blake, for Davenport Assumption, I mean, this is an area that they're not too familiar with, being down, and so I'm sure that Coach Moss had a real good talk with them at the break, and things that they certainly need to work on. I think certainly communication in some areas, but I think now they're probably thinking, all right, well, now that we don't have to worry about the win, we can get back to what we do best when we play our brand of soccer. But on the other side, Dike-New Hartford has come in on a mission. Again, this is a team that's won 10 consecutive matches. They ousted the number 2 team in the state to get here in double overtime. So they're just a tough-minded group. And so these next 40 minutes are going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Assumption seems like they're pretty loose and laid back because they were dancing when they came on the field, and there was no music playing. So they seem to be loose. They seem to be ready, not letting anything get to them. And we are ready to go. 40 minutes on the clock. Number 8, Dike-New Hartford leads number 1, Assumption. And here we go in our second half of action here in this Class 1A quarterfinal. 4 fields here at the County Sports Complex, so all of the first round of 1A will be done by, I'd say, probably 1 o'clock, so that's one really nice thing. You know immediately who your opponent is. You don't really have to wait around. You can even go over and watch your opponent afterwards, so keep an eye on that as we go along. We were the first ones to start at 10 o'clock this morning. Maddie Toll to the far touchline. Centers in the middle. Good pickup by Dike-New Hartford, and even better block by a Wolverine down low.
Toll once again on the ball early and often. Had a few good opportunities to try to create, but Assumption, kind of like what we saw in the opening first set of minutes in the first half. I mean, they're on the ball, the possessions were there, but it was Dike-New Hartford that was able to make the proper adjustments and really settle in.
And I will say, the wind that Dike-New Hartford had to work with in the first half, that wind has died down, and Assumption doesn't really have that headwind anymore, despite changing sides. So the wind was on the Wolverines' side, and now Davenport Assumption trying to move it downfield as the sun starts to peek back out here. In the middle, Toll was not there in time, and it goes out on the back line, and it'll be a goal kick here for Dike-New Hartford. I think you have a score update for us on the other field.
Yeah, it's always great. You know, you hear the roar of the crowd. So, you know, something exciting happened, and Nevada was able to equalize the match 1-1. The score there between them and Hudson. They have just about 4 minutes left until they take their break at half.
The winner of this match will play the winner of that match, so we'll keep our eye on that one, and Hunter will continue to give updates as he sees over there on field number 7. You got to assume the Wolverines are going to keep their foot on the gas here. A 1-0 lead is not safe against Davenport Assumption by any means. And like you said, they've only been shut out once.
Well, and Dike-New Hartford has the personnel to do it. I mean, we have seen their approach already here through the first 40-plus minutes from Coach Eden that they're going to go to their bench, utilize their depth, and that's what you're going to need to be able to face a team like Assumption that will continue to press throughout the course of a half. Nothing really too big developing there within the box for Assumption, but they're just really trying to keep Dike-New Hartford on the other end of the pitch. But now we see the Wolverines trying to build on the counter, but well defended here by the Knights.
Well, and all of Assumption's goals, shot on goals, have been the exact same, high and long. It's, you know, they've had to compensate for the wind, they've had to compensate for the conditions, and now they'll see what they can do on the backside. Meanwhile, Dike-New Hartford number 7 Gentry Schwartz, the one who scored in the first half, she's starting to work her way downfield. Assumption takes it right back. Drew Dorsey with it here. I think you'd expect to see a little bit more of her here in the second half if you're an Assumption fan.
Well, and she knows that she's going to have to put herself in scoring position, and you see her right there atop the box. Toll's been someone that can create here in the corner, and maybe this is just not really the touch that she wanted there. But no doubt, I think Dorsey knows that she is going to have to play a pivotal role in some sort of capacity, either having 2 defenders on her so that can create something for somebody else. But no doubt, just the way that she plays the game, she always has great vision, and she knows where to put herself. But Dike-New Hartford, give them credit so far, and that they've really have made those opportunities few and far between.
Far touch line here. Assumption's able to corral it. That's Cameron Menke. The Knights on a run out. Kick to the middle. Dorsey, header, high in the air, but it'll roll out. And let's see who they give it to. They are going to say it was last touched by Dorsey on the header. So it's Wolverine ball.
Well, and you can just tell that Dorsey, with her height, she has such a great advantage to be able to get those headers, and we've seen it off of set pieces. We saw one sequence there in the first half. And Yeats had a moment there. But the Wolverines have hung tough here thus far, but the Knights are just continuing to stand their ground and get more deeper into the end of Dike-New Hartford.
Well, and, you know, you think about it, for Dike-New Hartford, really didn't have many opportunities in the first half, and their goal came on a lone, far kick way out in front. And that might be what happens again if they want to grab a second goal to try to extend this lead. But Assumption is knocking on the door here, as that one sent high and long and wide and out of the touchline.
Yeah, just really like the approach and the start here for Assumption. And obviously Dike-New Hartford, they knew coming in that they were going to get their best shot here, especially to start, because the Knights want nothing more than to be able to tally that equalizing goal.
They were not just going to lay down, that's for sure. Dorsey continues to kind of camp in the middle. She's just kind of waiting for something to come her way. And the Wolverines are on their heels quite a bit here in the first 7 minutes of action. Dorsey in the middle, doubled up. Hannah Steffen is there. That one's knocked out. Dike-New Hartford ball.
And there's that double team right there. Dorsey thought that she could just slide it over here to the near touch line, but just a little too much on it. But short-lived possession for Dike-New Hartford here in their end. And they're fortunate nobody was there up top.
Far corner. That's Anna Weeman. Knocked away by Lucy Varney. And Varney's usually a forward, and she's back there helping the back line.
Yeah, she has shown off her versatility, and that's a credit to Davenport Assumption. And that, really, I guess for both teams, they have limited the touches of the top goal scorers for each side.
Dorsey turns, shot on goal, misses high into the right. She's going to take every opportunity she gets. Not that that wasn't a good opportunity, but just can't seem to find it here so far today. And the lead holds at 1-0 with 32-17 to go here in this one. Our Class 1A quarterfinals here in the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this morning. We appreciate you for watching and following along with us here today. Ooh, they're going to call a foul just outside of the box. Anna Weeman went to the ground, and boy, Hunter almost in penalty kick territory. Caught a break there.
Oh, that's going to be on Drew Peterson, and thought that they were able to dispossess her cleanly, but too much contact. Davenport Assumption is a team that always takes advantage of set pieces. And you see where Dorsey is, two around her near the center of the 6-yard box.
There's your kick. It's high, and it's picked up. Nicely done, Miranda Tyler again. Dorsey was waiting just in case, but Tyler lets it drop right into her hands, and it will be a stop for the Dike-New Hartford defense once again.
And Tyler, a senior, 93% save percentage. And, you have pretty much two options right there. One, trying to field a direct kick right at you, or that they're going to go for Dorsey. But Tyler was just in the right spot to make a heads-up play.
Steffen was there in the middle. Boy, it was a terrific header by Steffen. Hunter, a lot of possessions here on Dike-New Hartford's side. They are on their heels here for at least 10 minutes now, trying to get a breakaway here. They haven't had one yet. And out ahead goes Gentry Swartz again. Swartz going to widen it out and misses far behind. She got a little bit of contact. Was it last touched? Yes, it was last touched by Swartz. Assumption didn't get a hang of it. But that's what we're talking about. That's what got Dike-New Hartford their goal in the first half.
Yeah, those are the moments that have really paid off for Dike-New Hartford. We're going to get a substitution for the Wolverines here, but that's how you stem the tide right there. Just when a team has had just a lengthy possession, set of possessions in your half, no better way to be able to break it up than to work in transition. But we saw Macy Ripslinger really hustle down with Swartz. That's not an easy thing to do because Swartz is one of the fastest players here on the pitch, and able to force her to take a real difficult shot. There was really nobody there on the far end to cross it to for Dike-New Hartford, but kind of like what we saw in the first half, like we're really seeing the Wolverines just kind of take what Davenport Assumption is giving them and just playing solid soccer and just really taking care of the ball. They do give it up here, but they have really been excellent with their passing.
And they've played defense most of the day. It just feels like they've been up against their back against the wall, and they just, trying to work things out for the most part. Another whistle here, and they'll throw it out.
Sophomore Maddie Martinez coming back in for Davenport Assumption. Well, she is going to be a player to watch here for the next few years. It's just something about Assumption where they are able to develop talent right away. And, you look at the numbers for Martinez, 6 assists, 2 goals, and that's predominantly coming off the bench. Did make 12 starts, but there's always just those building blocks. By the way, Drew Dorsey, she's going to be back next year too and committed to Cincinnati just has the making of a D1 player just watching her in person, and obviously going to play in the Big 12, very talented conference for women's collegiate soccer. But there's just so many weapons that the Knights have, make them a tough team to stop.
Ooh, they sent her to the middle. Maddie Martinez couldn't quite get there on the header. And it'll be a goal kick here for the Wolverines. 27:50 to go here in the second half. Dike-New Hartford leads over Assumption, the 8 seed over the 1 seed currently.
And that was Bennett that was able to just get there in the right spot to alter Martinez. Bennett, one of the team captains for Dike-New Hartford, but again, back come the Knights.
Shot on goal to the right, just misses. Would have been good if it stayed on track. Amelie Yates couldn't quite sneak it in the top right-hand corner, and again, Dike-New Hartford holds.
31.5% shot on goal percentage for Yates. I mean, when you look at the shot on goal percentage for a number of these players, I mean, when they hoist up a shot, I mean, it's with a purpose. It's not just to try to toy around with the keeper. I mean, they are really deliberate in their attacking third, which is why, like we've talked about throughout the broadcast thus far, why they're such a prolific goal-scoring team. But Dike-New Hartford, as we've seen them throughout the season, they're able to roll up their sleeves in the defending third, and they have had their work cut out for them here in the second half.
Dorsey with it in the middle. Wolverines trying to close in. They go to the far side. This is Gabby Stoffrigan. Nothing quite there yet for Assumption. Now they'll try to center back. Shot on goal. Drops in Miranda Tyler's lap. Ella Curo was the one on the kick, but not enough on it.
Curo, another sophomore for Assumption that has seen a lot of playing time this season.
And you know, on the other end, Hunter, for Assumption, I don't know, has Maddie Nidji touched the ball here in the second half? I mean, Assumption has been on the aggressive so much here. Dike-New Hartford has not really had a chance.
Yeah, just one goal kick. Otherwise,
Dorsey turns, fires to the right. And again, Miranda Tyler's on top of it. Hey fans, level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. Just as I'm reading that ad, Nidji finally gets a piece of the ball. Dike-New Hartford had a breakaway opportunity.
And that's who they want in their breakaway, Lucy Varney. But Nidji, she knew that she had to charge up to be able to disrupt the onward motion of the top goal scorer for Dike-New Hartford.
Long kick ahead. Swartz is there. No, that's Lucy Varney. Varney with it here, getting her on the edge. Varney gets tripped up. No call. Wolverines still have it for a second. Assumption clears. A lot of contact, and boy, that would have been a penalty shot because that was in the box.
It sure was, and you know that all stemmed from Heather Jondal just misplaying that ball, and it allowed Varney to be able to get back on the ball. And then when she tried to cut in, I mean, it's one of those 50-50 plays, and the official was all over it. I mean, had a great vantage point and thought that just maybe got too much turf and maybe got tripped because of the grass and not so much the contact. But either way, that's a huge, huge break for Davenport Assumption. But this is exactly what Dike-New Hartford needed. I mean, a lot of this half has been played on their end.
Boy, that kick's going to hang in the air from Tyler. The wind picked up just a little bit more. Maddie Martinez there in the middle for Assumption. To the middle to Dorsey. And again, Dike-New Hartford's on top of it. A lot of contact. Two girls hit the floor and a whistle blows, and who's the call?
It's going to go on Dike-New Hartford, and it's going to go on Sylvie Fuller. Those two were hand-checking one another. And
the Dike-New Hartford crowd doesn't like it. So now, boy, this is a good opportunity here for Assumption. You got the wind at your back. Granted, as I look at the flag, there's not much wind, but we'll see who takes the shot here.
Well, we saw a direct kick from Yeats earlier. See if she will.
Wolverines have 6 girls right here going up and down. The kick attempt by Yeats misses to the left, and it also did not touch a Wolverine, so the Dike-New Hartford gets the benefit of the doubt out of that whole thing.
Well, I couldn't have scripted a better way to defend that free kick right there. And
literally perfect.
Just when their backs have been up against the wall, that's when this Wolverines team has gotten stronger. And they've caught.
Ooh, handball in the middle. That's going to give the ball back to Assumption. Go back
up
ahead.
On Varney. But just that's when they've gotten stronger. And they've caught Assumption in some vulnerable positions there on their counters with the very few that they have had, just to really keep them honest. And it's more of a direct approach there from way further back.
Another long kick just to the right. 22:08 to go. There was an update on the far field. If you can tell me who the visiting team is, the visiting team just went up 1-0 over on the far side. If that's Trainer, but I can't tell. I'm not really sure. I see red over there. So there's a possibility Trainer's up 1-0 over Bishop Heelan, or it's Denver and St. Albert.
Just trying to identify what field number that is, but I do believe that is Bishop Heelan and Trainer, and if that's the case,
well, that'd be big. We already have an upset alert on our field. 1A could be tossed on its head. Still a bit to go. 21.5 to go here in the second half. Dike-New Hartford leads over Assumption. That one's knocked up ahead. Varney and Swartz. That's Swartz. Can she get there in time for Miranda? Knock it there. That's Maddie Nidji, excuse me. Swartz had a chance. She's got legs underneath of her and couldn't quite get there.
And that's just another time where Jondal was just a step slower, and you cannot afford to do that against Swartz because once she gets out in open space, and we've already seen her be able to put it in the back of the net against one of the top goalkeepers in the state, and so Nidji's really had to work around a few plays here over the last 10 minutes or so.
Drew Peterson is in a substitution. All substitutions in today's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Drew Dorsey just bodied number 5, Sophia Bennett, and a whistle is blown.
Boy, Sophia Bennett has been going at it with Dorsey for really the majority of the day. We saw that kind of hand-fighting exchange between Dorsey and Fuller, but really the majority of that defensive assignment has gone to the team captain, Sophia Bennett, and she has certainly delivered here today, not backing down whatsoever.
Lucy Varney got ahead. She'll battle in the corner with Heather Jondal, centered to the middle. And a good pickup by Macy Ripslinger. Dike-New Hartford now in Assumption territory. Haven't seen that a ton here in this second half. Really haven't seen it a ton today. And down goes Macy Ripslinger. Kind of got a piece of Lucy Varney. Or, excuse me, Gentry Swartz.
So, Blake, we've certainly seen the physicality pick up here over the last few minutes. And no doubt the urgency is only going to continue to grow stronger here on the side of Assumption as we have just over 19 minutes remaining here in regulation. So they're going to be pressing here a little bit. They're still going to stay true to their principles. And so for Dike-New Hartford, it's just trying to remain calm and composed and sticking to what has made them real successful here today.
Boy, that one's going to roll out. Dike-New Hartford ball. See a couple frustrations setting in for Assumption. Still a bit to go, but trying to keep your head on straight here. Swartz centers, back line, picked up. Nice job by Maddie Nidji. Also, haven't been in this position, haven't been down 1-0 with 18 minutes to go here, especially at the state tournament. You're trying to get settled in, and Dike-New Hartford has really been on top of things here. It's a bend but don't break defense. Miranda Tyler again if we had a player of the game, she'd be up for it. Man, she has been everywhere today.
She has been a workhorse there between the pipes for Dike-New Hartford. And I think they have really just embodied, don't want to call themselves underdogs, but, when you come in as an 8 seed and you face really a perennial power over the last several years in Davenport Assumption, you're going to come in with a little bit of an edge. And sometimes that can hurt some teams, but today, Dike-New Hartford, they have executed their game plan to a T, and like you said, Miranda Tyler, I think, has really given this team a boost, knowing that, hey, our senior keeper has literally got our back because, especially here in the second half, where it's been a heavy load possession for Assumption in their half, they've been steady, but cannot give any breathing room to Yeats and company. If you're Dike-New Hartford, got to be careful with the ball.
If you're a Dike-New Hartford fan, it's almost a hold-your-breath moment every time they get down there. They center to the middle with Yeats. Shot on goal is high. Cameron Menke got a little too far underneath of it. And that trend continues.
2 new players in for Dike-New Hartford, one for Assumption again at this point of the match, just trying to get those fresh legs in to be able to get that extra advantage. But I'll tell you, Dike-New Hartford again, really lucky because of just that whiff there, and that allowed Menke to come in to be able to put a quality strike on it.
It's also, you talk about, you don't quite call Dike-New Hartford the underdog. In a way you would because of the 8 seed, but when do we ever talk about this school as an underdog? State volleyball champion, state basketball champion. They're trying to complete a big trifecta here, and who knows what they have on the tab for softball. But, just incredible overall. And trying to finish the deal here today. 16:20 to go. That one's going to roll out. Is it Dike-New Hartford ball or is it Assumption ball? It's Wolverine ball.
You bring up an excellent point. It's just the winning culture. And, again, a lot of these student athletes, they're a part of the basketball and the volleyball teams. And there's just something about that camaraderie, playing these different sports together, not just being able to play, but they know how to win on the biggest of stages. So, this is a group that knows, what it's like under the bright lights, in Coralville or at Wells Fargo Arena. So, again, this big stage, it does not scare them at all. But we're going to get a corner kick here for Assumption, and
Channel Seeds corner kick on the way, and that's just a narrow line drive. It never stood a chance.
I think they were going for Yeats, who is right there on that right post, but that's such a tough shot or pass to be able to make the level of difficulty. Not sure if that was really the right approach to take at this point.
Got a handball here in the middle on Dike-New Hartford, so Assumption will get it back at the midfield line. These are going to be a long 15 minutes for Dike-New Hartford. The 8 seed leads the 1 seed, 1-0, and 15 minutes to go.
We see their fans here at County Soccer Complex literally on the edge of their seat, some of them standing.
Toll turns and misses to the left.
We also hear the Assumption fans behind their team as well. Like we talked about, just great support from 2 schools that are a few hours away from the Des Moines Metro, and with a 10 a.m. start, definitely coming out to be able to support their teams, and it's created a great atmosphere here to start day 1.
Rise and shine on a Tuesday morning here. Toll. 2 girls hit the ground. Somehow Toll comes out away with it once again. Far line, that's Caitlin O'Brien. Assumption maybe trying to slow things down, set things up in a little bit better fashion here. Center, Dorsey heads it off the top of the goal. Oh my goodness, I don't know how in the world. I don't know, first of all, how that was turned to the center. And then Dorsey was she headed it, and it just hit the top of the post.
Macy Ripslinger has been playing predominantly in the back. But right there, just within inches of it reaching the end line, somehow got that turn, and Dorsey with a close call once again. It glanced off the top of the bar and out. The Knights can sense it.
I was going to say, it feels like it's coming because Assumption just continues to put pressure on Dike-New Hartford. When is the dam going to break? Dorsey turns, fires, it's high again. And it was last touched by Dorsey, and she just sits there kind of staring at the goal. She's had so many opportunities today, Hunter, just can't seem to find it. 29 goals this season. Can't get that one yet today.
Well, it's like a basketball player who's known for three-point shooting, but the rim just isn't kind that one day. It's just the goal. It's not quite been there, especially the bar. It has not gotten the lucky bounces. Dorsey hasn't, but just continuing to stay aggressive. But, man, time is, again, just going to make this even all the more interesting because, again, just the amount of urgency is going to pick up, and you're going to see Dike-New Hartford playing the game within the game where they're going to take their sweet time here with their throw-ins. Just any kind of little advantage they can get, they'll take it.
12-10 to go here in this one. Dike-New Hartford leads over Davenport Assumption. 11 state titles to Davenport Assumption's name. At one point, went to the state title 6 years in a row. They won 5 of those. But they've been shut out the last 2 years, and everyone's been thinking, well, when are they going to get back? They're going to get back soon, and this year, the 1 seed coming in, it all seems like it's going to plan, but Dike-New Hartford has other plans here and are 11 and a half minutes away from pulling off a stunner here to start the day.
Well, and Assumption knows that no matter which team they face, I mean, the target is always going to be big on them. They're going to get every team's best shot, and that has been the case here with Dike-New Hartford. But, yeah, we talked about it to open the broadcast. How is this Knights team going to come in? Because they've come up shy the last few years of their ultimate goal of winning a state title. They were going to come in motivated.
Dorsey got it blocked. Dorsey tries again, and it's saved by Miranda Tyler.
Oh, man. If that ball had any more pace on it, that was going to split the near side. But Tyler diving out and making another incredible save. I mean, what a day she has had. And again, facing the motivated Assumption team, looking to get to the semifinals, but right now the Wolverines have been able to hang on and trying to keep as much possession time as possible.
A breakaway up ahead. One-on-one, turn, fire, picked up by Maddie Nidji. That was Peyton Foster who had a chance. That's, again, Nidji has not really seen a ton of action here in this second half.
Well, we talk about the young players coming up for Davenport Assumption. Foster just a freshman, so she is going to be a player that we're going to see a lot of here in the coming years.
Couple more Dike-New Hartford parents starting to get on their feet. 10 minutes to go here in this Class 1A quarterfinal. The winner will face the winner of Hudson and Nevada. Currently tied at 1 apiece with 26 minutes to go on the other field. I don't know what time that will take place on Thursday. Should be morning, I'd assume again, but Hunter will check that here in a second.
It's going to be at
bright and early.
Yep, same start time as ours here, and it's going to be on this field here at the County Soccer Complex, Field 9.
Are no runner-up games this year. That's kind of been phased out a little bit. Swartz.
How impressive has she been today?
Yeah, seriously.
Always in a spot.
Over to Foster. Foster's going to try a shot on goal, and it would have been a header opportunity. As I can't tell, that was number 9, Drew Peterson. She hit the ground, and it was Nidji again coming up to make the play. Great boot down the pitch, and cleared back. Anytime Dike-New Hartford has a clear, the fans are on their feet because they know how important those moments are. Running up the pitch, Bering got there on the backside. That's Macy Ripslinger with it here. Near side to Maddie Martinez. And back to Ripslinger. Shot on goal. Bounces to the left. And it is saved.
Boy,
that was almost a corner kick.
narrowly missed the end line. So Tyler with some good hands. They're kind of tricky to play that one here in the near post. Are they going to say that it touched?
Yeah.
End line. Wow, that is.
It was. She bobbled it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with 8 minutes to go, we're going to have a Channel Seeds corner kick here. And this is Amelie Yates, who has had so many big chances today. They'll go short this time to Stoffrigan. Stoffrigan, low balled, nobody's home. Dike-New Hartford knocks it out. Toll was sitting in the goal. Ripslinger trying to work her way around. That's a heck of a last name. To the middle. And knocked away quickly by Hannah Steffen.
Stoffrigan was just a step too late there. Otherwise, she would have had one of the cleanest looks at goal today for the Knights. Continuing to put the pressure on the Wolverines here in the waning minutes. They're going to earn themselves another corner.
Toll gets it around the edge. Out of 40 minutes that'll be played here in the second half, I'm going to take a wild guess that 37 of 40 have been played on this side of the field. Dike-New Hartford has been on defensive mode this entire half, and now a corner kick upcoming for Assumption. High and never had a chance. Misses wide to the right. And that time the wind did not help.
It didn't help, but just overall inconsistency by Yates, unfortunately for her in the corner today, just with different kind of approaches. And she has 12 assists on the season, but just has not been able to get that ball in the right spot. We saw Assumption bring in a last-minute substitution in here to try to hopefully get that winning formula and to be able to tie this one up.
Just over 6 to go. And again, another Channel Seeds corner kick upcoming for Assumption. You feel like they've had so many chances. Maybe they've figured something out, but it's coming down to it here. And once again, Amelie Yates will be the one to kick.
Maybe look for an outswinger here.
Yates, again, no chance. Wide to the right.
Just has not been able to get that bend. And I know they've been looking for number 8, Drew Dorsey, who was just outside the 6-yard box here near side.
That header by Drew Dorsey that hit the bottom of the bar is going to be thought of if Assumption can't get away here. Under 5.5 to go. The Wolverines are in clear-it mode, as they have been all day long, but if you have a chance, get it out. Varney does get it up the field just a little bit. It'll be a quick throw in. Assumption wants to go quick. In the middle, and not enough on it. Also, you got to think, Hunter, Assumption's back line is so far up that Dike-New Hartford could really do something here. Like here, you get it up ahead.
And so you don't have somebody there to cover it, and it creates more and more spacing for Dike-New Hartford. They're going to take their time, and speaking of time, again, that's more time that, if Assumption gets back on the ball, it's going to take them just a few more seconds, precious moments to be able to get to the other end.
Yeah. If you can keep it down here, you're going to be okay. Back around in the middle. Amelie Yates gets it taken away by Anastasia Bering. Bering sends it upfield. Foster and Swartz. Swartz in the middle. Foster again fires. Bering shot on goal high, but still taking time off the clock. Under 4 minutes to go.
During that possession, it was all about Bering, and she has had some very good moments here today that when they have needed Dike-New Hartford to make a play, she has been there, and no doubt Swartz also in the thick of things as well. Again, this is exactly what the Wolverines want right here. And the Knights want to get back to their comfort zone, which is putting pressure on the opponent.
Here comes Assumption, another chance at a run out. They try to center over and too far gone. That time Anna Weeman and Dorsey were waiting. We are just over 3 minutes to go in this Class 1A quarterfinal. Can you feel the nerves?
You can sense the tension on one side of the pitch, actually all over, because you can really, you could hear a pin drop on the Dike-New Hartford side. Just, they cannot wait until it's all zeros on the clock.
Now the wind has picked up just a little bit more, so Dike-New Hartford's going to have a hard time clearing it as well. Here comes Macy Ripslinger trying to work her way through traffic. Shot on goal, batted down by Miranda Tyler. Boy, that wasn't easy, but she continues to make huge plays today. That's a good shot.
Excellent shot on goal by Ripslinger. And, with the wind, we're back. It had even that much more pace to it. But Tyler, with such great anticipation, knows where to put herself. 2 minutes to go here in regulation.
Dike-New Hartford on a chance at a breakaway. Assumption's there. Swartz picked up by Ripslinger. 1:45 to go. Great minutes here by Anastasia Bering. Knocked ahead. Maddie Nidji will come up and get it and says, everybody get back. She's going to try to launch it deep. We are a minute and a half away. Dorsey, header, nobody's home. In the middle, Yeats up ahead to Dorsey. Dorsey waiting, hands it off over to Weeman. Weeman caught up and knocked out. Swartz gets around one. And down the pitch it goes. This is Foster, 1 minute to go. Foster working the edge up against Ripslinger. Macy's able to turn it back. Here comes Assumption back the other way. Might get one more chance at it. That one's knocked out. Assumption ball.
Now or never here for the Knights.
Dorsey in the middle. Not going to go. Dike-New Hartford knocks it away again. Dorsey, center. Dorsey goes for a slide tackle. It's cleared out again. 28 seconds to go. They get it in quick. Cameron Menke. Menke, backline, 20 seconds to go. Center to Yeats. Up in the air. Cleared out again. 13 seconds to go. And as it rolls to the middle, the number 1 seed is going down. Dike-New Hartford. The 8th seed downs number 1 Davenport Assumption in your Class 1A quarterfinals. 1-0 is your score.
Blake, in the 4-year history of this program, this was their second appearance at state. Their last and first appearance fell to Underwood. For your first win as a program at state, I'd say this is a pretty big one.
1-0 is your score. The 8th seed Dike-New Hartford upsets 1-seeded Davenport Assumption to advance to the Class 1A semifinals, where they will take on the winner of Hudson and Nevada. How about that? An incredible defensive effort all day long. We will send it down to our PA for your trophy presentation.
Soccer ball, provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Team. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Aaron Gerlich and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Elizabeth Moss and the Knights of Davenport Assumption on an outstanding 2024 soccer season. Wolverine fans, your team advances to the Class 1A semifinal, where they will face either Nevada or Hudson on Thursday, May 30th at 10 a.m. right here on field number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance today, and thank you for your support of the Iowa Girl.
Well, that will do it for us here on field number 9, our first game of the day. What a win for Dike-New Hartford. First ever win here at the state soccer tournament. They'll punch their ticket over to the semifinal round. The Wolverines of Dike-New Hartford upset one-seeded Davenport Assumption. 1-0 is your final score. For Michael on camera, Aaron, our producer, he's Hunter Phillips. I'm Blake Walker. We'll see you in probably about 45 minutes, about 30-some minutes here. We'll get you ready for your Class 2A quarterfinal of Lewis Central and North Polk. Thank you, everyone, for watching the 2024 Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.